video is demonstrating how gadgets work. Added new cosmetic options for selected gadgets. What? Are we getting cosmetics for... Hi everyone, welcome to another video on Battlefield 6, and in this one we're going over the update 1.1.1.0, which is dropping on October 28th, followed by the Season 1 launch later that day at these times. So they're deploying on Tuesday, October 28th, 9 o'clock UTC. It goes live on all platforms. Players will be prompted to download and install the update, which includes all technical and gameplay changes, and 1500 UTC Season 1 content, including the Battle Pass and new seasonal features, become available to all players. So it's going to be 6 hours between update 1.1.1 and when Season 1 goes live. Between these times, players can continue to play Battlefield 6 as normal after updating, but Season 1 content and progression will unlock at 1500 UTC. The Season 1 update marks the next step in our ongoing journey to evolve and expand the Battlefield 6 experience. This includes fixes, balance changes, and quality of life improvements focused on polish, performance, and player feedback to deliver an even smoother experience moving forward. So what are the major updates for 1.1.1.0? Basically 1.1.1. Improved core movement and animations, including smoother landings, faster stance transitions, better vaulting behavior, and reduced bouncing issues on landing or spawning. Thank you very much. I hated bouncing. Reworked weapon dispersion to better align accuracy and handling with each weapon's intended design and performance over range. These changes address cases where accuracy behaved inconsistently, such as dispersion not properly settling after sprinting, and bringing overall firing behavior closer to the intended balance between precision, control, and weapon power. Significant visibility and lighting improvements with better exposure transitions, interior lighting, and reduced fog and smoke. Persistence, audio overhaul, adding new projectile flybys, destruction and explosion sounds, refined vehicle and weapon mixes, and improved haptic feedback across multiple interactions. UI and HUD updates for clarity and consistency, including overtime indicators, end of round fixes, and new unlock markers for weapons and gadgets. Map fixes across multiple locations, resolving spawn animations, out of bounds issues, misaligned assets, and general stability across conquest, breakthrough, and rush modes. So the changelog. For the players, they fixed an issue where combat data would break when diving uphill, fixed an issue where players could detach from zip lines when entering at high speed, improved steady aim and sight centering for more consistent precision, fixed an issue where movement could interrupt steady aim, adjusted, I've experienced this a lot. Sniping. Adjusted misaligned character hitboxes for upper body and head to better match the visual models. Fixed an issue where the jump animation could play twice when aiming down sights. Landing animations now have their animation path properly centered instead of shifting to the side when landing. Fixed an issue where jump inaccuracy could linger too long after landing. Fixed a visual issue causing weapons to appear rotated incorrectly after spawning. Fixed an issue where throwing grenades from prone could make players appear standing in third person view. What? Fixed an animation delay when opening doors when sliding. Fixed an issue where players could get stuck while vaulting over a certain object. Fixed a visual issue where dead players appeared alive while swimming. What? Swimming? Who's been swimming? Is this just for Firestorm? I feel like it's gotta be, right? Fixed an issue where quick meleeing with a gadget would swap back to the primary weapon instead of the gadget. Yeah, that's annoying. Fixed an issue where getting killed by a mine would highlight it in the kill cam. Fixed the camera jitter that could occur when entering ladders and looking down. Fixed an issue where camera and weapon sway behaved incorrectly after entering or exiting vehicles. Fixed an issue where weapons or other soldiers could clip through walls when they entered your view. Fixed an issue where pistols disappeared while swimming. Again, I want to know where the swimming's happening. Improved lighting, precision for visibility while hip firing and aiming down sights. Reduced occurrences of bouncing or landing issues when dropping into certain objects. Fixed an issue where the killer snapshots sometimes did not display in the kill cam. Small improvements to weapon and camera sway for smoother movement. Fixed an issue where enemies could take melee damage in protective vehicle seats. Fixed an issue where vaulting could fail if triggered right as the player hit an obstacle. Fixed an animation issue where repeated vaulting could cause incorrect hand placement. Fixed an issue where simultaneous melee hits could make an enemy briefly invisible. What? I have not experienced this, but that must have been frustrating. I'm not gonna read the fixed an issue part. I'm just gonna read the rest, okay? It's just no point in reading it every time. Issue where soldier heads briefly disappear during redeploy transitions. Improved training path progression display to better match actual unlocks. Thank you. That was very confusing. Issue where friendly players could clip into each other when climbing ladders. Issue preventing vaulting directly from a slide. Issue causing the camera to rotate abruptly after a takedown. Issue where hands briefly disappeared after using the AGO3 KOG med pen. Improved stab animations when reviving and drag and revive. Issues affecting peeking and prone transitions, ensuring both actions function correctly. Fix a camera clipping issue where going prone while strafing. Fix a missing third-person animation when transitioning from prone to sprint. Fix an issue where falling while sprinting causing incorrect hand movement. Fix a visual clipping when soldiers stood too close to the glass doors. Jittery aim animations in third person when mounted. Bug where mounting near walls prevented aiming left or right. Leaning, peeking, or mounting could cancel unexpectedly. Yeah, that happened a lot. An issue where third person hit reactions were missing when hit while mounted. Choice of words. Fix an issue where the character's knee clipped with the camera when falling when crouched. Takedown inconsistency. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Even near walls. Perfect. So now I'm able to properly take dog tags. So I should start knifing more once the patch comes out, obviously. Issue where taking melee damage interrupted weapon fire. Multiple visibility improvements including lighting, explosion, and fog behavior for better contrast and clarity across all maps. Improved vaulting, parachute, and door animations for smoother transitions. Rare animation freezes where friendly units reloading off screen. Minor inconsistencies in mounting, peeking, prone transitions for more reliable gameplay. Added parachute customization for soldiers. Unintended shoulder bump animation when equipping a weapon while sprinting. Ragdoll impacts for more consistent and reliable reactions. Dance, transition, and landing animations to settle faster and feel smoother. For vehicles, fixed haptic feedback when switching between tank weapons. A visual issue where the player's hand clipped with the M1A2 SEP B3 handle while sitting in the external seats. For gadgets, fixed a rare issue with the MAS 148 glaive could block the first person view during a combat dive. MAS 148 glaive visual issues during combat dives in first person. Combat dives, okay. Defibrillators appeared floating during vaulting animations. Supply pouch would sometimes not resupply correctly. Gadgets are not destroyed or moved from debris piles. AT grenades now create a small size crater instead of a medium one. Buildings now take more hits to be destroyed by a sledgehammer. Thank you. That was really weird. Weapons. Okay, so this is going to be a big... it's not that big. Weapon dispersion has been rebalanced to better match each weapon's damage profile across all ranges. Lower damage weapons will now see a slightly higher increase in dispersion when firing, while higher damage weapons will experience less. Using sniper rifles with any class other than recon will no longer increase weapon spread. Instead, weapon sway will now begin during the zoom transition, maintaining balance and distinguishing recon's precision advantage. Fix a misalignment issue with top-mounted red dot sights. Fix an issue where mounting on a bipod would zoom. While zoomed, only change the FOV instead of using the correct optic. Fix an issue where the long suppressor used the wrong attachment point cost for some weapons. Reticle settling for automatic weapons to make burst firing more efficient. Issue where using a bipod too close to a complex geometry could throw the player off position while prone. Sledgehammer damage against royal objects for better consistency has been balanced. Preventing from leaving the firing range. Oh, some people couldn't leave. Maps and modes. Improve fog and smoke effects after destruction to prevent them from lingering too long and impacting visibility. Thank you. I can usually never see past a tank that's, dead for like ages. Improved exposure transitions between indoor and outdoor areas for better visibility. Issue where zipline carabiner could, I don't know how to say that, appear offset and fly next to the wire instead of along it. Squad names are now randomized at the start of squad deathmatch matches. Added visible bomb meshes to armed MCOMs in Rush. Update overtime UI visualization across all modes. Animation and positioning. Issues during insertion sequences on maps. Issue where a game mode UI could display incorrect scores or fail to update during a round. Yes, please. That's been happening a lot recently. End of round progression issue in King of the Hill mode, where players could encounter a bouncing animation when spawning at HQs after capturing new territories and escalation across multiple maps. The Rock Valley. Fix a misaligned zipline mesh in Conquest. Fix an issue where the deploy camera and Rush displayed attackers on the wrong side of the map. Issue that prevented players from arming MCOM A and Rush due to a misplaced asset. Siege of Cairo. Overlapping territory lines and boundaries during the briefing screen in Escalation. Liberation Peak. It issued escalation where a portion of the map on the NATO side was disconnected during the first period of the match. An issue in Rush where part of the attacker's HQ area was incorrectly marked as out of bounds. Wow. Sobek City. Issue preventing players from capturing part flag scene escalation. Issue where players could ignite when spawning near a burning lorry in team deathmatch. Infantry vehicle spawn that was placed too close to a building in the Pax Armada HQ. For Manhattan Bridge, issue and breakthrough where players could become stuck on the end of the round screen if party leader left during the end of round sequence. I did not know that happened. UI and HUD added new markers for newly unlocked weapons, weapon packages, attachments, gadgets, and throwables. Updated 3D previews for certain gadgets to show their deployed state. Added preview video demonstrating how gadgets work. Added new cosmetic options for selected gadgets. What? What? Are we getting cosmetics for our gadgets? Interesting. Change save and close to close in the deploy menu for clarity. Fixed various UI issues in loadouts. Fixed an issue where Battlefield 6 ownership XP use did not deploy properly at the end of the round. Fixed multiple text inconsistencies in dog tags and challenges. Fixed an issue where the HUD would not appear when using 16:10 aspect ratio with certain resolutions. Settings. Added flick look behind. Bindings for helicopter, jet, and transport control schemes. Fixed visual issues where some aspect ratio settings cause transparent corners not inconsistent with display behavior. For single player, issue in Mission 1 where players were unable to lean out during the last stand sequence and the cinematic began while the knife was equipped. Black screen issue in the Night Raid mission for Portal, where the host experience screen did not display the Portal experience image. Crash that could occur if a party leader started a Portal server while content packs 1 and 4 were disabled. Loading times for server browsing experience and foot tab to ensure joining functions properly. A spelling error in the message shown when attempted to join an unavailable server. Audio. Footstep sounds were missing when moving with the knife equipped. What? So right now is the time to use this if they are missing. Voice line issue where directional calls nor played the wrong direction. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I have noticed that somebody's like tanked to the south, and I looked. I think this was last night, and I looked. And I was like, I don't see any tanks on the map. Like, what are they talking about? Turned haptic feedback across multiple actions. Okay, I don't care about that. I don't use a controller. For those of you that do, this is good. You guys are going to have more feedback. Polished large projectile audio with new missile, rocket pod, and cannon shell flyby effects. Improved distance handling and overall mix for more realistic impact sounds. Audio configs for light rockets and LMGs. Refined explosion sounds, crossfade, and adjusted distance sound behavior. Improved vehicle and weapon firing audio balance, reducing noise artifacts, unwanted phasing, and oversaturation. Radio chatter through controller speakers. Issue where firing range dummies and vehicles hit interactions sometimes played incorrect or processed hurt sounds. Radio processing for stationary vehicles pings and fixed compass orientation for ping indicators. Missing or incorrect ambient and destruction sounds across several maps, including Siege of Cairo, as well as missing explosion sounds for silos and tanker trailers. Missing ambient audio setups for environmental props like construction barriers and buses. New sound effects for the bullets and takeover sections of the main menu, including improved reveal animations. An issue where delayed challenge tab display triggered early audio feedback. An issue where defibrillator loop sounds couldn't get stuck while vaulting. Fixed mixing out of sync reload sounds. Corrected the M39 EMR using suppressed audio when unsuppressed. Missing external sound effects for RWS gunner or countermeasure mines. Fixed issue where soundtrack tracks cut off abruptly or skip mid-song. Reload audio polish for several weapons. This announcement may change as we listen to community feedback and continue to develop our live service. Cool. So that's the patch. The biggest thing here, in my opinion, and I mean, like, everything else is great. Good changes, I think. I'll have to see how everything is once it actually launches, but from what I can see, good changes so far. But the biggest thing right now, guys, is not in the audio, it's in the cosmetics options for selected gadgets. That's interesting. But yeah, that's the patch that's going to be launching before the Season 1 update. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one.